had Akira Shida and Chris Statlander, excuse me. I know this was one of Red Sox fans' women that he was very high on, taking on B. Priestley and Ima Sakura. The match was all right, nothing really to gloat about, but Statlander looked pretty damn good for her showing. I want to see more of her on AEW Dynamite. My question is for you, Dave, and people in the chat room as well. Um, why don't they utilize more of the women on their show? And why is it stuck to specific women on the show? Because um, we've seen Sheeta on the show. We've seen B Priestley a couple of times. We've seen Sakura. We got we've seen Britt Baker. We've seen Rio. But some of these ladies like Allie and Statlander and a couple of other ones haven't seen the light of day on AEW Dynamite quite yet. Do you have any reason why they're doing that?
And AEW just started. I mean,
They all suck.
They're still new.
Damn.
I don't think they all suck, but I mean, I think it's obvious. I mean, they only got technically 3 hours of programming a week because of AEW Dark, but they don't have a lot of talented women, or they got talented, but they don't got a lot of women talent there that they can just use every week. And like that's a good point too. You got to give them some gimmicks, and it's taking time to get stuff developed and get it on TV. Like we're slowly starting to see other stuff develop. Like we'll talk about the Alley situation in a few minutes, but
yeah.
Like we're seeing that too develop, and I don't know much about Statlander, but I know her partner. I've seen her a few weeks in a row. I can't remember her name is. Sheeta.
Yes.
And I think she's really good so far. To me, I know people love Rio.
Hey, Jeffrey Cross. Thank you, brother.
But to me, she's really standing out to me right now.
You know what? The only gripe I had about, I guess the one gripe I had about that match.
Yeah, I agree.
Was that fucking, excuse my language, that chair spot that, what's her name does? Ima Sakura. For some reason, let me just kind of set this up for you guys. She grabs a chair. She sits it down. She no, it's not Sakura. I'm sorry. It's it's the other girl, Sheeta. She puts a chair down. Yeah. She sits it down, and then she continues to run and then jump on it and then jump on you. This spot here looked horrible. You have the women. They're standing. They're groggy, and they're looking at her, waiting for her to do something. Every time she does it, it doesn't come off well on TV. It always looks very awkward and very, very, very rehearsed and played. That it doesn't look natural. You know how RVD would do it and look kind of natural? It takes like 5 minutes for her to set up the move. It just doesn't look right. We already bitch and moan about when wrestlers are on the top rope and they're just sitting there and waiting, and then they'll fight, and then they'll wait and fight more. It just looks silly. I hope she either loses it or gets to the point to where she doesn't take so long to do the spot, because it looked absolutely horrible on Wednesday night. Anything else you want to come through the tag match, and then we'll get to Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I agree, because they did the same thing last week, where she was against Britt Baker last week, maybe. I can't remember, or someone, and they're just standing there by the ring post, waiting for her to do her little spot jumping off the chair. To me, I don't like that part. To me, that's more the cameraman's fault, in a way, because you're showing just like when you said the wrestlers standing outside waiting for a spot. That's more the cameraman's fault, because they're showing the guys just standing there right on camera waiting, instead of just zooming in on the action in the ring when they're going to do their spot. That's what they should be doing.
Okay, I guess, yeah, but when you have two of them out there, who else are you supposed to pan to? You have to sit there on the crowd. It just didn't look. She needs to do it either quicker or faster, or do whatever she's going to do just right off the bat. It just seems to take so damn long for her to get it ready and going. Not AEW unless there are botches, says Ian Dunn. Looks like they're reworking Allie, says Steven 2411. We're about to get in her and get to touching on her. Yeah, not in a sexual way in just a minute. At this point, it's just matches after matches. The one story they quickly had was just told on Dark. Now, it's interesting that Bobaruski mentions that because I wanted to ask you, Dave, can you name 3 current storylines in AEW at the moment?
3?
3.
The Inner Circle versus kind of the Elite. You could throw that's a storyline. You got, I guess, Rio versus Brandy Rhodes is kind of a storyline, and then maybe the MJF stuff with Cody.
Yeah. Do you see a little trend there?
What? Just all the main people.
They don't have very many storylines going on right now in AEW.
Well, to be
don't
fair,
give me this shit that it's a new show. Don't.
Well, it is.
But how long they've had? How many episodes now?
Like 9?
I believe? You cannot.
And how many episodes has Raw had? Over 1,000?
I'm not comparing them to WWE. I'm not. This is not me comparing them to the other wrestling show. To me, this is the lack of story builds in certain feuds. Bucks and Pride and Powerful. When's the last time they've touched on that? When's the last time Jim Ross said? Last week was the brawl, right? Was that the brawl?
No,
was
last
that the week
week
before?
was. I think last week was the match where they interrupted Private Party and they helped Private Party beat Santana and Ortiz. In that match where it looked like they were doing this. I think the week before was the brawl, but this could have been the brawl too. It could have been the same night. I don't remember, but yeah.
I think I can name like 8 WWE stories between Raw and SmackDown only. My only thing is I wish they would build some more storylines. That's all.
It's gonna take time though. I mean,
it does take time, but 9 episodes. It's 9 episodes. It's still, they have that's just an excuse. That's like when they say we've only had 9 episodes. That's why the women will get more involved. That's just an excuse.
Sometimes it takes time for an arc to come together. Like in a TV show or TV series, sometimes in the first 9 episodes of a show, you're not going to get the whole story. You don't really know what's going on yet. They're building small storylines to the big finale or 22nd episode in. So that's when you get everything blown up. They even said before they're going to try to book storylines 3 to 6 months in advance. So you're not seeing everything develop right away.
The only one that's been booked 3 to 6 months in advance that is a for sure storyline for me, because just because the Young Bucks and PMP are feuding right now doesn't mean that we're going to be feuding from now and 3 months from now. The only feud right now, they're legit 100% feud, and it's not even guaranteed yet. It's Moxley and Jericho.
I disagree.
Moxley and Jericho is the one feud that we know in 3 months from now when they have their pay-per-view is going to be a match. Absolutely, 100%. Okay, what else?
MJF and Cody Rhodes.
Okay, I'll give you that.
That's been building since before AEW even started.
What's up,
when
Mayor
he's building
Kane?
the YouTube show, Cody being rude or MJF being rude to Cody's dog and being rude to Brandy and being his new best friend, and then finally turning on him. That's been the storyline building for before AEW even was a show.
Everyone on social media want WWE female talent to be on AEW's women's division, including Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Io Shirai, which I call BS. AEW women's division needs to stay original. I mean, a lot of those 3 women would boost their women's division quite dramatically, but I can see where you would want them to go their own route and not take every single WWE talent that get released from the WWE. Absolutely. They also had pay-per-views. Yep, absolutely, Jeffrey Cross. AEW women's division is blah. At the moment, it's very